Hi and welcome back. As you can see, what we've got today is idioms. So that's what we are going to talk about today. Are you ready? Let's get started. So we say an idiom can be defined as a commonly used expression whose meaning is different from the literal meaning of its individual words. For example, you see, kick the bucket is a widely recognized idiom that means to die. You see, it does not mean using your leg, for example, to kick the bucket, or maybe like the water should, you should pour the water, something like that. So it does not, the meaning is different from the literal meaning. You don't say that what it means is you kick the bucket, as in using your leg, for example. So you should remember that the meaning is different from the literal meaning of its individual words. Good. Let's start having examples now. Our first idiom is acid tests. The meaning? Something that proves the effectiveness or value of someone or something. For example, I think his work can be the acid test for our new employees. Good. Big cheese. An important or an influential person. An example, he is a big cheese around here. To add insult to injury. To worsen a bad situation. An example, don't add insult to injury because people have already suffered. Let's move on. Against the clock means be rushed and having little time to complete something. For example, I'm doing this work against the clock. Ahead of time. Ahead of time. Earlier or before the expected time. For example, I will finish the work ahead of time. Better late than never. It is better to do something late than not at all. For example, let's assume, or like with it here. A says you finished the work late, and that's the response. Better late than never. You finished the work late. Better late than never. Good. Let's move on. All ears. To be listening to someone attentively. For example, someone says, I have good news for you. Then you say, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. An arm and a leg. An arm and a leg. A huge amount of money. For example, this thing is going to cost an arm and a leg. An arm and a leg. So you understand that it is going to cost a huge amount of money. So you understand that it is not cheap. Good. Around the clock. For the whole period of a day without stopping. For example, the doctors worked around the clock yesterday. The doctors worked around the clock yesterday. Around the corner. Will happen soon or near. Will happen soon is to do with time, and near, place. For example, your exams are around the corner. So you see, this is to do with time. Your exams are around the corner. Then here, I think there is a hotel around the corner. So you see, this is to do with place. Good. Let's move on. The best thing since sliced bread. A person or a thing that is considered to be very good. For example, the house is the best thing since sliced bread. At the drop of a hat. Without any hesitation, or instantly. For example, he will call him at the drop of a hat. The best of both worlds. A state of having the advantages of two things simultaneously. For example, I get to work on my projects from home while spending time with my family. This way, I get the best of both worlds. I get the best of both worlds. Good. Let's move on. Go back to the drawing board. to start a plan again because the first plan was not successful. For example, the plan wasn't successful, so you have to go back to the drawing board. A bad apple. A troublemaker or an undesirable person in a group. For example, don't spend your time with that guy because he's a bad apple. The ball is in your court. The ball is in your court. It is up to you to make a decision or take the next step. For example, they've done their best. The ball is in your court now. The ball is in your court now. Good. Let's move on. Backing up the wrong tree. Looking in the wrong place or accusing the wrong person. For example, if you are saying that she is the one cheating on you, then you are backing up the wrong tree. Be glad to see the back of someone. To be happy that someone has left. For example, I was glad to see the back of that man. Beat around or about the bush. Avoiding the main topic or not speaking directly about an issue. For example, when we start talking about the issue, don't beat around the bush. Good. Let's move on. Here we have our last examples for today. To beat the clock. To do something before its time ends. For example, we have to beat the clock today. We have to beat the clock today. Be in one's bonnet. An idea that you are obsessed with. For example, I've got a bee in my bonnet about this issue. Behind the times. Old-fashioned. For example, your phone is behind the times. Our last example, or our last idiom, bells and whistles. Extra attractive features. For example, my new computer has all the new bells and whistles. Good. So that's it for today's idioms. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And I say that's it for now. Until next time.